Welcome back to M Hood Fishing. You can almost surf that wave coming in if you were very small, not a very big wave. Mississippi River looking very green. A mullet, I believe, just jumped out of the water. When it looks like this, it means salty. It's a mix of salt water and fresh water. Therefore, it's got interesting species coming in it. Every year around this time, at summertime, right, when it's warm, the river's low, and it goes green like this, you're gonna find a lot of bull shark, mostly pups, like smaller, not that small, but you know, small. Nature's already trying to take me over here. This is what's up. This is a Rio Grande cichlid, and that is a bluegill. I have always had this low opinion of this fish as bait. I do eat them sometimes. You got to watch out when you cook these. If you cook them too long, they're super easy to overcook. They will come out dry. So it's because it's a dry fish. It's not a very oily fish. Does not make a very good bait. The only time I've had success using this as bait is one time fishing for gar late summer in a canal full of gar that were super active, and they were just eating everything, including these. The question is, will bull shark eat these? We know they'll eat that, but will they eat this? That was the Coast Guard that just flew over. We're going to cut these up and do one with that and one with this and see if we can get anything with that. A big piece of the Rio Grande, a small piece of the bluegill. The Coast Guard helicopter is continuing to circle my area. I'm not the reason why it's here. We're in a anchorage, of course. It's something associated with the anchorage, one of these ships, or something else. I doubt it's me. You never know, though. I mean, maybe they're a fan and they're just trying to get an early view of what I'm doing. All right, so one big piece, like I said, but that's going to be the Rio Grande. It's on the rod with the reflective tape, and this is a 9/0. There we go. Steel leader, of course, because we're looking for shark. Could get gar. There are gaff top here. 3 ounces of lead. Both rigs are relatively the same except for hook size. Relatively the same for lead and sinker slide. Steel leader, but a different steel leader and a different hook size. So essentially the same idea for both rigs, just a bit of a difference in nuance. Smaller piece, of course. This is a 3/0 Kale. More likely to get gaff top. There's a big reason why I say gaff top right now. And it's not just because the river is really salty and green right now. It's because we're getting a really late start. It is about mid-morning, a little after 10 a.m. Meant to get here a lot earlier, but stuff came up yesterday. The day went long, and then there was unexpected stuff to take care of this morning. So what I find is gaff top feed more likely than freshwater cats around this time of the day. Plus, we're gonna stay till about noon or 1, so we'll be taking advantage of the solar noon bite. Bull shark are about the same. I've had luck with bull shark and gaff top when my sessions have gone late, gone till this time of the morning, mid-morning. So I'm not too worried. I think we just need to sit in the shade and watch these rods and hope for the best. There's the bluegill and the Coast Guard again. It's supposed to be relatively warm today. You could even say hot. 94 degrees is what the temperature is supposed to get up to. It's not quite that yet. Humidity is not too bad today, actually, though. It's supposed to be really hot later this weekend, like Sunday and Monday. temperatures of like 100 degrees, 99 degrees. That is not an index. That is straight up what the temperature is supposed to be in a couple of days. This is a Thursday, so yeah, this is nice compared to what might be coming. I do realize that I'm cutting this kind of tight this morning, coming this late, expecting to get some results from this experiment in such a short amount of time, because it's after 10 and I'm saying I'm going to call it around 12 or 1. So this is likely to be part 1. We'll probably try this again, give it more time, start at a better time. I just can't stay any longer than that. Almost decided to not do this today, even though I'd planned on doing it since yesterday. I have a big session, so like I said, I had a lot to do. Yesterday went longer, and I had a lot to do this morning as well. And then I have some more stuff to do after this, because I got a big session to get ready for. You know, I'm almost there, but yeah, there's other things that I have to go to sleep and stuff. So couldn't come out here to do a night session or an afternoon session, because I got to get up early in the morning, right? So yeah, cutting it kind of tight. So this might just be part 1. This might just be catching a gaff top in the heat. Look at that bluegill rod. Something's going off on it. See it moving a little different every now and then, a subtle movement on the tip, not in line with anything that's occurring naturally, not in line with the wind, not in line with the other rod, not in line with the other line. There we go. For some reason, I instinctively turned the camera off, thinking I was turning it on, even though I was just talking to it. So used to turning the camera on when I'm running for a rod. I don't know, just like reflex. This is fighting pretty good. It's either a little pup. Yes, it's a little pup. Wow. That confirms that bull shark really like bluegill. Maybe too much sun already today. My reflexes are acting all dumb and my dyslexia is kicking in. I don't know if you guys realize, but when I talk about that, I'm not joking. I'm actually dyslexic. I was born with dyslexia, something I've had to overcome. But I have days where it's thicker than the rain, right? And days where I'm affected by it, just like allergies. Yeah, you're right, little tiny bull shark. Come on, guy, relax. I know I'm asking a lot, but relax. To make life easier, we're doing it right here. I like using Kales and octopus hooks for shark because they're easy to get out. I want to hold this leader tight and be mindful of his movements. If he starts to, because of my hands are fairly close to him, right? So see, I saw him about to get ready to move. I saw his muscles flex. I'll move my hand out of the way because I do not have one of those handy de-hookers that you can get for a shark, the hardcore looking ones that make life easier. That hook is in the thick part of the corner of his jaw, so let's employ a little technique. I'll show you. Tools of the trade here. I wouldn't always suggest you use fish groups on shark because they'll just destroy them, but if it's a really small pup, you can get away with it. And we're going to use this rope and the pliers. I used this technique but forgot to film it the other day when I was with Alex and I was surf fishing, and I had a little shark snagged in the fin and he was just moving too much for me to be able to work with him. So what we did was this: I took this rope, or the rope I had at the moment, not this particular rope, but you take a rope and you got to get it to where that bend is and the hook. See, we're already pulling it out a little bit, and use his weight. There we go. Use the weight of the fish. Now, of course, at that time the fish landed not on rocks but in the water, so this is a little different. Hopefully I didn't hurt him. I didn't come up too high in the air, so it wasn't that big of a drop. I'm going to grab him with my right hand right here. See how I got a firm grip on him. I'm going to come turn around, change my angle of my dangle here, the angle of my camera, so you can see this. There we go. I just grabbed these just in case I needed them. But yeah, sometimes that works, because sometimes it's just your tools get your hands too close to that shark's mouth. If you can get a rope to where the bend of the hook is, let me grab this hook. You can get the rope here, somewhere down in here, to where when you pull at that angle, it's pulling it straight out. There you go. This technique works well with kales and octopuses and J hooks. Not always successful with circle hooks. I do not like circle hooks and shark. I don't like those two combinations. Hard to get a circle hook out of a shark's mouth sometimes. I would say that happened relatively fast. We haven't been here very long. We haven't even been here an hour. We've been here maybe 30 minutes. We're gonna put out another small piece of gill. Thought about trying a big piece out there that's already out there and a small piece of Rio Grande, but then I thought we'll probably just be sitting here watching nothing maybe. So in the spirit of catching another fish, we're gonna go with what we know is productive and keeping one experiment going instead of having, shooting ourselves in the foot and experimenting with all rods. All right, here we go. I will try my best to keep my dyslexic mistakes to a bare minimal, but sometimes I just don't have control over that. I can't speak for other people with dyslexia, but sometimes it really hinders me when I'm tired, though I'm not tired right now. It also hinders me when my mind is scattered, like, when I'm thinking about other things, and maybe that's the case right now. I got my mind on my next session, which is not this, totally different than this. My mind is on other things as well, not just the next session. Recently, someone I met a long time ago who meant a lot to me at the time recently passed away in Ireland. I'm remembering her smile. I can't say that we were close friends. It was back in my punk rock days when I lived in New York on the Lower East Side. We had some brief encounters, her and I, at a time, and then she wasn't around anymore. But I remember her. Basically, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my close encounter, my memories, my fond memories of Sinead O'Connor, who recently passed away the other day. I briefly met her in New York, but the first time I had an encounter with her, it wasn't when I met her. I was walking across First Avenue going west, and she was walking across going east, and I was having a down day, right? I was really down. I looked up, and as she was walking toward me, she smiled. I don't know, it's just that smile lit me up. I didn't realize who she was. I thought, who is this really cute skinhead girl? Because at the time, that's how she dressed, right? She had a shaved head, and she kind of looked like a oi girl, or a skitch, you might call her. So when I got to the other side of the street, I looked back. and thinking, who is that girl? And I started thinking, she's familiar. And then I realized after she got back up onto the curb and kept going down, I knew where she was going. I knew who she was at that point. That was Sinead O'Connor. She was going to this cafe that I was just coming from. I forget the name of it, Sinead something. It was a cafe that she was loosely associated with. And then I had a few other encounters. I had a few other, my dyslexia, a few other encounters after that. Coffee, kind words, not too many deep conversations, but yeah, she was a really nice lady. Touched everybody she met because she had a really nice smile. She went through some stuff in her life. She had some struggles. Sorely missed. Great voice too. It is now after 11, and as per usual, nothing has touched the Rio Grande. Nothing's touched the new piece of gill yet either. Besides my mind being on the next session, which is massive, lots of parts involved, and the nostalgic memory lane thing because we lost Sinead recently, my mind is also on a composition that I've got going. So yeah, sometimes when my mind is all over the place, dyslexia sets in, but mostly I've learned to live with it and control it. It's not easy, but you can tame your dyslexia and push it back down in the box and not have it affect you. But sometimes it will. And my best advice is, if it affects your speech when you're talking, just correct and go. Don't apologize. Just repeat the word correctly and keep going. But it doesn't hurt to tell people why certain things happen. If you want to tell people about your dyslexia, that's good, because you should not be afraid. You should not feel like you gotta hide it. It's something that just happens to us. Some of us are. Doesn't mean we're dumb. Doesn't mean we're smaller than everybody else or we're inferior. Just makes us different, and it is something that we can overcome, and we can be successful regardless of the fact that we're dyslexic. But will this session be successful? Well, I would say having a fish up on the bank gives it marginal success. We could save ourselves some suffering and go back in, because I got a lot to do. However, I don't see any harm in sticking around a little longer. It's 11:18 right now. Maybe we can get a second bull shark up here. You might not really see what I see, but I see something that is worth seeing. We're just gonna watch. Oh, you see? I see what? Oh, that was not a dyslexic mistake. That was a malfunction of... Oh, are you there? Do you know what rod this is? This is the one with the tape on it. This means our second fish bit the Rio Grande. It is still just a little bit after 11:18. Just gave you my pep talk about dyslexia, how it doesn't mean the end of the world. You can still be a champ, and you can still get something worth catching with Rio Grande. Oh, and what was the point of doing this today? To see if we could get a bull shark. Will bull shark eat Rio Grande? And yes, because that's what this is. Whoa, I'm in a good mood now. Just like that one day where I was not in a good mood and Sinead O'Connor smiled at me and my mood just totally changed. And I didn't realize who she was until she got to the opposite side of the road. And then I realized, hey, that cute girl was Sinead O'Connor. And now I'm in a really good mood, because not as pretty as Sinead O'Connor, especially back then, and even later in life she was still adorable to me. But this is a bull shark, and he's pretty small, not cute, doesn't have much of a smile. Whoa! But he is surfing up to me. Yeah, you're right. Pulled this one up into the shade to work because there is quite the surfable wave coming in. Maybe you could surf it, and plus it's getting hot, so easier to work in the shade. Plus this is the kind of steel leader that has the plastic coat on it. It's a little easier on your hands to pick up, and this is not a heavy fish at all. See if I can safely get this out of the corner of his mouth. Might need the rope, might not. There we go, got it out. Got it out. Even though he's just a little guy, I thought might as well give you a nice look at him. Look at them teeth. It'll take some fingers. Yeah, you're right. Well, I thought we were looking at just a part 1 of this experiment, and that we're going to have to do part 2. Excuse me. But at this point in the video, I would say we can safely say that yes, they'll eat Rio Grande. I think bull shark will eat just about anything, and that might be why some people don't like to eat bull shark, because they usually say they taste more bad because of their eating habits, because they eat just everything, they eat garbage, so therefore they don't taste good. Just like some people don't like goat's milk because they think the goats eat all kinds of crazy stuff. Well, if you have goats and you let them eat certain things, that'll affect the taste of the milk. But you can control your goats, you can't control the bull shark. Not bad for just maybe 2 hours. It is just before noon. Gonna go ahead and call it here, get out of the heat. Thanks for watching, guys. Liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you next time.